again, the only way our vote is going to count is if we actually vote. And if Georgia didn't show us why our vote count, like, we're never going to know. Georgia has shown us that, yo, your vote really count. Because black and brown people came out in droves. They came out in droves and made it happen. They made it happen. And we could do that. I see you here, but I need you to be on. I need you to be live, bro. I need you to be live. So the next thing, here, jump back in, and we're going to talk about the Blake case, the DC riots. Now look at this. We got a bunch of white nationals went to DC following their Messiah, 45, following their Messiah. They tore the place up. They literally tried to kidnap the vice president of the United States and kill any other congressperson member that they wanted to, because these people are rogue. They're out of control. Now, we've been talking about this. We've been talking about this ever since he's been in office, even prior to him being in office. I already knew it. I knew they didn't care about no blue lives. Blue lives, they killed a cop. So I don't hear nothing about all y'all cops that's on here. All y'all cops that's on here, please miss me with that Blue Lives Matter. I don't want to hear about it no more, because they don't care about blue lives. I promise you they don't care about it. And if you don't believe me, they had a funeral today for a cop in D.C. that was killed by these MAGA people. Oh, MAGA, you know, would Pat Lynch, the PBA president from New York City, NYPD union, went on national TV endorsed? Yeah, those MAGA people killed the cop. So we could put that to bed, get rid of that blue flag. Nobody want to see it no more. They don't care about the blue. They don't care about the blue lives. The regular people care about blue lives, but these MAGA people, they don't care. Average person, they care about the police. Average person gonna call the cops when something happened to them. I promise you that. I know. I was doing it for a lot of years. I did it for 20-something years. As an average person, they like the cops. But these racist white people that they have running around with these MAGA flags and Trump flags and carrying pipe bombs, Molotov cocktails. Are we serious? So this is what America came to? But the writing was on the wall. And everybody, and some of y'all on this timeline, y'all probably voted for him. Y'all probably voted for him in November that just passed. But guess what? Sha-na-na-na, hey. Goodbye. He's out of here. He's out of here. But we got a long way to healing what's going on in America. I never even really thought it was healed anyway. It was just undercover. He just brought these feelings to the forefront. That's what the president did. He just brought these feelings to the forefront. But I want people to jump on. I want you to jump on. Bring some questions. Let's go. Let's get it. I can't go to my email, so let's get it going. Give me some questions. Let's get it. And see what y'all talking about. Yeah, we working, baby. We working. We still waiting for D Perk. He got to hit the green so he could come on. And we're going to get some. Corey, will obeying police commands help to keep us from getting shot? How do we as black men minimize our risk? Okay, first part of the question, my man Kev just put up. Will obeying police commands help from keeping us from getting shot? Listen, I'm an advocate for obeying police commands. If you go on my YouTube channel, Ask Corey Pegues, I got 3 videos on there. Police encounters in the streets, in the car, and in your home. Ask Corey Pegues, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. You have like a whole hour of tips on, each video on how to deal with the police. I'm an advocate for obeying the commands, and some people say, why should we obey the commands? I think it's the easiest thing. If you don't obey them, it's only going to go south. It's going to go left, however you want to call it. But obey the commands. Obviously, if they're telling you to do something that you outwardly know is wrong, it's going to kill you, well, possibly I'm probably going to run then. But other than that, if a cop tell me to stop my car, I'm stopping my vehicle. Put my hands in the hair and put my hands in the air. Put them on the car, empty your pockets. Yeah, they're not supposed to tell you to empty your pockets, but when they ask me to empty my pockets, I know there's nothing in my pockets. I'm taking the stuff out of my pockets because I'm pissed, but I know it's nothing in my pocket. There's no gun, there's no knife on me, so why am I going to keep arguing with these people? Why you can't tell me to go in your pockets. Go in your pockets. Take the stuff out. Live to see another day. That's all we're trying to do is just live to see another day. We're not going to be fighting with these cops, especially, think about it. Right now, In America, with all of this stuff going on, the Black Lives Matter movement, Blue Lives, and all this tension with the police, why in the hell would you disobey an order from a cop? And again, I don't like to blame victims, but it's like Sandra Bland got murdered by that. She ended up dying in a cell. But you remember when she got pulled over? The only reason she was arrested because he asked her to put a cigarette out. And again, I'm not blaming Sandra Bland for her death. She shouldn't be dead. But just imagine if she would just put a cigarette out. Yeah, he was on some macho police stuff. Put your cigarette out. If you don't put your cigarette out, I'm taking you in. Do we really gonna fight over putting a cigarette out? Like, sometimes we gotta really think, like, what battle do we want to fight? And how far do we want to take this fight? I'm not gonna play with the police. I'm telling you straight up and down. Me, 21-year veteran, like over almost 30 years in policing now. I'm not gonna play with them. Y'all can play with them. I'm not playing with them. Black, white, or Chinese, I'm not playing with them. Now, how do we as black men minimize our risk? You minimize your risk by, obviously obeying the rules, regulations, and the law. And again, like, live to see another day. Listen, black men are an endangered species around America with the police. And any cop on here want to challenge me, bring it up. I'll bring you on camera right now. We could go head to head on it. In low socioeconomic neighborhoods that's black and brown, the police hunt. I'm promising you they hunt. I know it. I've seen it. I know cops all over the country. I'm a national speaker for an organization called Elite Law Enforcement Action Partnership. I travel the country doing different things. So black and brown men are endangered species in low socioeconomic neighborhoods. Not only by the police, but also by gang members too. Gangs, drug dealers, all of that. So we have a lot. We not only got to worry about the police stop questioning and frisking us, illegally, but then we got to worry about these stick-up kids. We got to worry about the robber. We worry about catching a stray bullet from the gang person. So the way that you minimize your risk is just trying to avoid these situations. Yeah, it's not a good feeling to get pulled over by the police. I just got pulled over by the police like 2 weeks ago. I know I'm shooting 100. I'm good. But even when I'm pulling to the side, I'm still nervous. And I know that I'm good. I know that I'm legit. I know that I'm going to put my hands on the steering wheel. I'm turning the light on. I'm going to say, yes, sir. I'm going to announce that my wallet is in my back pocket. I'm doing all of that stuff, but I'm still nervous. Just as a black man, you just get nervous when you get stopped by the police. So again, like, to minimize the risk, I say just, obey the rules, regulations, and try to minimize being in the engagement with the police, because it only can go south. Now, in defense of the police, a lot of times police are pulling people over or stopping people on the street for reasons that are actually legitimate. And sometimes do we get caught up having the wrong description? Of course you get caught up in that. But I think that's the exception, not the norm. That was a great question, though. We gotta get this on. Nick, what up, Wayne? What up? Let's go. NYPD is saying they told the Capitol Police. Told them what? They told them what? There was going to be a riot? Well, the Capitol Police. So let's go to the Capitol Police. The Capitol Police, a straight failure in leadership. I don't care. Top tier leadership should be fired. Shouldn't even let them resign. Resign meaning like, I left the job, I could get another job. You got to stop letting people resign. Fire them. Give them a bad evaluation. Get rid of them. They got blood on their hands. So now, it's not only the NYPD told them, if in fact they told them, but I could promise you this also by NYPD. I bet you it was 100 NYPD white cops was down there in D.C. at least. And I won't be surprised if they had some buses lined up to take them down there. So that's a little more investigation. I'm fiddling around trying to find out, because I'm pretty sure they had busloads of cops going down there. I'll bet you $1 to a donut they had a bunch of cops going. But forget about being told. We have this thing called the internet, this stuff we talking on Facebook. They were on these social media pages. They was talking about this stuff. These psycho magna people, it's not a secret. They're not a secret society. They're out in our face. They're right out front. Because remember, the president said, stand by, stand down. Let's go. They're ready. There's no secret squirrel. They're not like no secret squirrel organization. They're telling you we're going to DC on January 6th and we're taking over the Capitol. We're coming for Pelosi. We're looking for Mike Pence. They said this stuff already. So no matter who told them what, the person that hold the bag is still the Capitol Police. The Capitol Police. Because we all saw last summer, back in July when they had the Black Lives Matter protests out there, they had 5 or 6 rows deep of police. They had K9 dogs. They had vehicles lined up. They all had riot gear on. They was ready. They was locked and loaded like they was getting ready to go to war. They was getting ready to take some people out. Right? And they had advance notice that it was going to be a Black Lives Matter protest because, you got to get a permit to do it at the Capitol. You got to get a permit. Same thing that these people did. These people got a permit for 30,000 people. Same thing. So why wasn't they prepared? You know why they wasn't prepared? And I want you to spread this. You tell them. Corey Pegues said it. Because white people not afraid of the police. And the police don't police white people. It's clear. And anybody want to challenge me on it? Let's go. But you don't even have to challenge me on it because I just gave you 2 examples. Look at Black Lives Matter when they protest, and then look at racist, white, MAGA people protest. Police not going to police them. It's clear. It's evident. And I'm tired of people going around. I do TV and stuff like that. I'm always on with some analysts that skirts around. Other than my homegirl, Cheryl Dorsey from LA, everybody else skirts around. You got to call a spade a spade. It is never going to be a diamond. You got to call it what it is. We got a problem with racism in America. We got a problem with, inside of policing, we got a lot of white nationalists that have infiltrated police departments around the country. So what I think that police departments around the country should be doing right now is contacting DC, the Capitol Police, right? The Capitol Police, and getting all video they can to pluck out any members of their service, of the police department that was down there. I'm telling you, they was there. So you need to make examples of them. We need to put them in a newspaper. You need to fire them. You need to suspend them. You need to do whatever you got to do. All right? That if we really looking to do change, we really want to investigate this thing where we had a bunch of racist terrorists, thugs, terrorists, whatever you want to call them. Same things that they call the Black Lives Matter people. Same things that they call them. They was that times 2 because they killed 5 people. They killed 5 people. And I'm on Facebook last night talking to somebody, and they're like, well, there's no difference between us. Well, they killed, show me a Black Lives Matter where they killed somebody. So they brought up the example of, God bless, the 2 cops that got killed in Brooklyn a couple of years ago. I'm like, there's no comparison. It wasn't a protest. It was a crazy guy from Philly came and shot 2 cops. That wasn't a Black Lives Matter protest. It's different. Show me one protest where a cop was killed. You can't. But I could show you. Now, Sean King tweeted out today, my man Sean King tweeted out today that a second cop died. I don't know. Still looking on it, but Sean King is pretty accurate with things that he said. So there's a problem in policing around America. We're already in policing. It's already a racist society, a subculture. I promise you it's a racist subculture. I lived it. And it's the only profession, one of the few professions you can actually go into, not be racist, but leave being racist. And let me explain to you. You can go there as a white person, a millennial. The millennials, they kissing white people, they kissing black people. They all get along. That's just what it is. That's, the new way of life. But you get into policing, you will start hating black people because of the culture and where they always send you to black communities and tell you to do this to black people and flip it. When you're a black person, you come in and you're not racist or have no racist tendencies, you'll start hating white people because of the way you see your brethren, your black people being treated. That's a crazy analogy, but it's the truth. So anybody out there looking to go in policing and you're not racist or have no racist overtones at all, when you get into policing, you getting ready to have an eye-opening experience. You're going to see some serious racism that's going to change your mind. And that's just a fact. And we see it on display all the time, everywhere we go. So, yeah. Any other questions? Let's go. Another question before I go into this Black Lives Matter movement. Let's go. Crystal. Cookie Lee, I see you, girl. I'm still waiting for my man D. Burke to jump on as the riot led to officers that should know is arrested be charged with murder? Yes. Anybody that was involved in the murder of that police officer, Officer Sick Nick, today was his funeral. Actually, I saw the procession earlier. Anybody that was involved in that should be charged with murder. It's a federal offense. And you know what else? You know what else I'm really happy about? Everybody down there that's getting arrested, they're getting federal charges. They're not getting no state charges because you know D.C.'s not part of the union. They're getting federal charges. So, y'all know how the feds do. There's no parole. You know, you're getting 382 months. You got to do 382 months. But they're not going to do that many months. And I see a couple of them now whose picture has been on Facebook or the newspaper. They're crying and copping pleas. Oh, I'm so sorry for my family. Nah, we ain't trying to hear it. We ain't even trying to hear it. Yeah, we forgive you, but we want you to do some jail time. As a matter of fact, a lot of us ain't even forgiving you. But we definitely want to see you. We want to see you we want that jail time. We want that Fed time. Just start posting up to your friends what size nylons you wear and sneakers. That makes sure you get some stuff. Reg said, Capitol Police, this was an inside job. Not too far-fetched. Not too far-fetched to believe it's an inside job. Because think about this. A Magna protest. After all of this stuff that 45 has been spewing and saying, he riled up all these people. Everybody, like my daughter is 7. She even knew that it was going to be a protest and the cops should be there. Everybody knew that. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure out that you needed some police down there. And they was coming in droves. Hundreds and thousands of them. So, now we said, Rodney Queen said earlier that NYPD said they told him. I'm pretty sure FBI told him they was getting stuff on the wire. Homeland Security getting it on the wire. A lot of people was getting this on the wire. But why did Capitol Police not do anything? Are there some videos of police moving barriers? Yes. Taking selfies? Yes. Calling people to come in? Yes, I seen that. But overall, I think the cops that was there, they did a good job. It's best job that they could do. You got to understand, it's not the cop on the barrier that has the culpability. It's the people that's sitting up top. It's the people that's executives like me. The executives got to make executive decisions. And if you're not making good executive decisions, then you got to go. And for them not to have the National Guard on deck. Look at the Maryland governor had the National Guard on deck the day before before the thing even happened. He had them on deck. And he was calling, said, yo, I got the National Guard. He couldn't even get them to send the National Guard over. So was it an inside job? Makes you want to, you have to think that. You have to think that. Because there's no way in the world. The Capitol hasn't been breached since the War of 1812. And here we are, 8 years later, 10, whatever. My math ain't so good, but whatever it is. Here we are. We knew about this. Like, Britain just came in 1812 and just took over, burned it down, burned it up. We knew about this for months. It wasn't no, it's a surprise. We knew that there was going to be a lawful assembly of a bunch of racist, Magna idiots. And we didn't prepare for it. One Black Lives Matter protest involving 10 people, they would have 50 cops out there. I promise you that. 50. They found FD, there's no more than like, yeah. Yeah. One Capitol was committed suicide today. Yeah, that's the other cop Sean King is probably talking about. A cop committed suicide. Can anyone be held responsible for the 5 deaths? Of course people could be held liable for the 5 deaths. Especially, if they incited the riot, which we know there was a couple of people. Few people like Donald Trump Jr., Rudy Giuliani. Yeah. They made statements at that rally to incite. So, if you incite the riot and the riot causes the death of somebody, you're going to have some blood on your hands. I'm anxious to see how this pan out. And I just hope Biden don't go in and want to be Mr. Nice Guy. Like Biden goes in, want to be Mr. Nice Guy. I don't want people to be mad at me, think I'm in the refrigerator. He drunk all his juice and actually almost caused a civil riot. A riot. And then he caused a riot on the Capitol steps. But he wanted a race riot. That's what he really was shooting for, a race riot around America. That's what he was really shooting for. Luckily, these social media handles took him down. So, could silence the guy. Can anyone be held for the files? Yeah. Fed charges are good. Yeah. Yeah, there was a New York City judge son that was involved. That New York City judge is from Brooklyn. He actually just came in office, but he's not liable for what his son did. His son is a grown man. His son looks like he's like in his 30s or something. Yeah. Why do you have some Capitol Police taking selfies with the rioters? Come on, man. I gotta answer that. You know why come on, man, because they racist magna people too. I don't know if y'all know, even the cop Sicknick, God bless him, rest in peace, who died. You know what his Facebook or Twitter profile picture was? It was a picture of Trump's airplane. Yeah, they all love Trump. But Trump don't love them. They don't get it. They drank the juice. He don't love them. He just want them to go out there and do all of this craziness. But he's Jim Jones. I'm telling you, he's Donald Trump / Jim Jones. That's who he is. That's who he is. Taking selfies. They're taking selfies. Now, is that a fireable offense? Probably not, but come on, man. Taking selfies. Why you take it? Come on. White pride, baby. White pride on display, man. White pride, this is my brother, man. This is my man. Yo, let's take a picture, man. He loved it. He wished he had his uniform off so he could have been up there in the Capitol. I won't be surprised if you look, there'll be some Capitol Police that was off duty up there on the Capitol steps. Because they said that cops were showing their shields to cops to get through the barriers and all of that. Like, they don't care. Police don't police white people. They just do what the hell they want. Yeah. Have you seen a white cop NYPD that killed an unarmed black or never go to jail? Have you seen a white cop NYPD that killed an unarmed black or Latino never go to jail? Yeah, this has happened before. Why do you think it took so long for reinforcements to arrive? Where was any backup? It took so long for reinforcements to arrive because there was no planning. It's not easy to get 3,000 people together really quick. I mean, unless you in the NYPD, the biggest police department in the country, they call help. They'll have like 500 come from Queens, 500 from Brooklyn, pretty quickly within an hour. This took a long time because they had to do logistics. First, they had to see what was the threat, analyze the threat, get everybody together, get all the manpower. Remember, these departments, when you leave New York, LA, Chicago, Detroit, these police departments are small. Like the DC Police Department, only 4,000 cops. Now, all 4,000 wasn't working that day. So you might have had like 30, 35, 3,600, but those are 3 different shifts. That's not at one time anyway. So they might have had like 400 people working. That's just what it is. So logistically, it takes a long time. They had to call from DC, they had to call from Virginia, they had to call from Maryland. That's what it takes. There was no backup. They didn't have a plan. Why would you have backup if you don't have a plan? They was like, Magnus coming here. We're happy. We getting ready to see all our uncles and cousins and nephews. They're coming here and they're not going to cause any problems. Guess what? They killed 5 people and 1 today committed suicide. All right? That's just what it is. Is it true that 45 has to call the National Guard or was the responsibility of the Capitol Police? No, it's true. So you got to understand that land, like the Lincoln Memorial, those monuments, all of that's federal property. So you got to understand when DC was created, they didn't want the state to have control of the federal property. So that's why you have a Capitol Police. That's why all of those are federal monuments. So it's all Capitol Police, federal police that guard those monuments. And it's not a lot of them. It's not a lot. So in DC, there's like 4,000 cops. The Capitol Police, I don't know the numbers, but that's probably not even 1,000 of them, if that. because they just really guarding, like, the Capitol, Lincoln Memorial, they guarding those monuments. I don't think it's a whole lot of them. But the President of the United States for D.C. has to call it in. She can't, she meaning the mayor of D.C., she can't call them in. But you know what she did? She requested them. She requested them days before, and she didn't even get the request approved. Hey, their cousins and nephews was coming. They was protecting them. Look at Million Man March. They locked that down, yeah. I heard in the news today, they're also blaming D.C. Mayor. They said National Guard was not called out until this went. Well, I saw the D.C. Mayor's press conference, and she did say that she requested for National Guard. And she can't even request them. It has to go through the President of the United States is the only one for those monuments that can activate the National Guard. Once all of this stuff started happening, the day of, she called and she got a request approved because she needed the National Guard in D.C. So she got that approved. Rudy did the same thing at City Hall. Yeah, Cabrera. Somebody's reading my book. So if you was around like in 1992 in New York City, there was a riot of police officers. It was a race riot and police officers in New York City. I wrote about it in my book. Once a Cop, The Street, the Law, Two Worlds, One Man. If you don't have it, pick it up. It's an award-winning book. So in 1992, same thing happened. Cops went over to City Hall in New York City. They was protesting because of Mayor Dinkins was the mayor at the time. It was a bunch of white racist cops, drunks with guns, took over City Hall and the Brooklyn Bridge. And when I saw this, that's exactly what I thought about. And guess what was the common denominator there? Rudy Giuliani. Back in 92, I was there. I was working. I was a cop, and they assigned me to that protest. And those cops just took over. I wasn't going to stop them. I'm not going to stop these crazy drunk people. And they just walked by, took over City Hall, and Rudy Giuliani had a bullhorn. And, they had signs calling Dinkins the N-word. They was walking with nooses, calling him a coon, all kind of stuff. Crazy race riot in New York City. And here we are 20-something years later. Same thing. And Rudy is at both of these things because that's what he is. He's a race baiter. He's a race baiter. If the black officer that was being chased inside Capitol by a brother, I believe, he would have shot him. I'm telling you, Sean, if that was me, I promise you, I definitely would have let rounds go. So, if you in fear of your life, if you think deadly physical force is going to be used against you or somebody else, you use deadly physical force. Now, you have 1,000 people chasing you. Do you think you're going to die? Of course. But I know what? If he would have popped one, they would have dropped. Because now, he probably had 15, 16 rounds in his gun, and he got another 16 in his pocket. Because when the first one or two people drop, everybody else going to be like, yo, he ain't playing. That's why I wasn't even mad at that. That was a justified shooting. When they shot that lady, that cop that shot that lady, that cop that shot that lady in the Capitol building, it was justified. Their job is to protect and serve Congress, the Capitol, all the members. And they see 1,000 people trying to climb through the windows. They thought whoever that officer was, he thought he was dead. I already know it. He thought that was it for me. So whoever come through that window, they going to get it. He gave it to her. He gave it to her. God bless, rest her soul, but she should have never went through that window. He would have got one shot and they would have tore him apart, but guess what? I don't really believe that, Dory, because you know what? After one or two people got shot, they would have been like, yo, I'm not playing with, he ain't playing with us. But we'll never know. I'm just glad the brother was good. Yeah, Vance, you're so right. How did they find the private offices of some people with no names on the door? Inside job, Lee. Inside job. They found the names of Pelosi, I was listening to Jim Claiborne this morning, the Minority Whip. His office was untouched. He was like, Why was my office not? He's a majority whip. He's a black man. Why did they go to his office? Come on. They can think about how do they know the layout? Come on. Stop playing. We ain't playing with them. We know what it is. We already know what it is. It's all bull. So many people still surprised. All right. Let's see if we could get. I was there in the Pegues City Hall. Yeah. James, let me know if you. Do you think we're headed for a civil war? Nah, I don't think there's gonna be no civil war. Cause I can't see these Magna people coming to Brownsville. I can't see them going up in the Bronx. Ain't gonna be no civil war. They ain't going to the south side of Chicago. Now, I don't think it's gonna happen. What I honestly really think is if you silence this guy, when this guy go away, it's over. Once you silence him, it's over. We're still gonna have all these crazy Magna people, but we've already had them. This is no new phenomenon. They've been here. He just gave them a platform and a voice. You go down that Bible Belt, past Virginia, past Maryland, they there. They there. Or I live here in New York, you go out to Suffolk County, man, they got them flags flying. They there. They been here. They not babies, like they grown people. They been here. But they don't have no platform. They don't have no Messiah. They don't have nobody riling them up. So I don't think it's going to be a civil war. But they still here. We're going to have to deal with them. So what? Are you going to go on record to justify the shooting correctly? AD, you know what? I was on court TVs. All right, so let me just get this out. Because you're not going to keep saying that. All right, so I was on court TV the other night, and they asked me, did I think that the shooting of the female was justified? And again, I said, looking at all the facts, I would like to see more camera angles, more stuff. You know, that's my police mind. I want to see more stuff. But I also said that if the cop was in fear of his life, then it was a justifiable shooting. And I believe that the cop was in fear of his life. So if he was in fear of his life, then it's a justifiable shooting, which I strongly believe that he was in fear of his life. So yes, AD, it was a justifiable shooting. She shouldn't have never went through that window. You're right. If that black cop would have shot somebody, you think they would have prosecuted him? No, absolutely not. It's no, not. They're not going to prosecute the guy that shot the girl. This was a situation where these people was in fear of their life. They got a whole mob running after them. He's thinking that he's about to get lynched and hung inside of the Capitol building. No. I doubt it very much. Chicken Wing, what up, boy? They're not coming to South of Jamaica. All right, so let's go. So the inauguration is coming, right? Next week. 10 more days. I think it's 10 more days for the inauguration. What's going to happen? Let's see what's going to be the build-up. So everybody know the inauguration is coming. We already know 5 people was killed at the Capitol riot, Race Magna riot with the white terrorists, homegrown terrorists, supremacists, thugs, gangsters, all of that, all of the above. What are they going to do at the inauguration? Oh, I know I'm not going to be there. I'm definitely not going to be at that inauguration. I don't want to go to one after Obama's anyway. It was the coldest day of my life. But they're talking already on these platforms. They're talking on these platforms. As a matter of fact, they're talking about going down next Sunday, coming up on these far right social media outlets. So now with the Capitol Police, we're going to see what they're going to do. You have to prepare. That's one thing I'll say about NYPD, like in New York City. A lot of meetings. Always prepared. Always prepared. Big plans. Even like as a commanding officer, I always had to have plans for every single holiday, every single known protest. Like you had strategic plans. Plan. Yeah. So we'll see what happened. The cop that shot the woman was part of the VP protection detail, Secret Service. Yeah. And you know, I was thinking that too. Like, what if the vice president was behind that door where that lady was trying to climb through? If they're part of the VP protection, you're going to have to lay her down. I don't know in my right mind what would make her. If you look at the video, you could clearly see somebody with a gun. Why would you jump through that window if you see a gun there? Why would you do that? It absolutely makes no sense. So, where do we go from here? Like, where do we go from here after all of this down there in D.C.? So, I think this. One, it's going to get worse before it gets better because tensions are very, very high. And as far as race is concerned, it's really, really bad. You know, I posted up, if you could go on my Facebook page, you'll see I posted up an interview of 2 black cops, Capitol Police, that was there. And they was talking about all the racism and venom that people were saying, these white terrorists, domestic grown, homegrown terrorists, neo-Nazis, boy, Proud Boys, they was calling them the N-word and saying a bunch of racist things to them. So it's not going to get any better. It's not going to get any better, but what we could do is try to treat everyone with respect, quite obviously. Try to treat everyone with respect and we got to root out these terrorist organizations. So you do know they're not labeled like terrorists because if you take, I saw a CIA expert today on, I think MSNBC, and he said the difference between a terrorist and a homegrown terrorist is, like a terrorist, you have a religion attached to it, and you have a color of the skin attached to it. So that's why they can't label the incident terrorism, because it doesn't have the religious factor, and it doesn't have the color, the black or brown skin. Because that's what they, all this terrorism stuff came out after 9/11. So if you change domestic terrorism to like Catholic, white, then we can start charging them with terrorism crimes. So now that the Dems have the House, the Senate, and the United States, I think they should start putting some domestic terrorism laws on the books. And then we could fix a lot of this stuff. You start giving them football numbers, 10, 15, 20 years, a lot of people might not join these offset organizations. Well, they know that they're being used with kid gloves and then nobody's going to get in trouble. It's not a big deal. So my spiel for today, y'all. I just wanted to get out here. I had to get some of this stuff off my chest. Let me bring somebody in. Let me bring somebody in on camera. Let me get my man James Hughes on camera if he's still here. James, you still here? Let me get you in. Okay. Let me see if I can get some people in so y'all can hear some other stuff. Can't bring James in. I sent you a request, James. I just sent you a request. Let's see if we could get you in on camera. I guess that's how you bring people in. I guess once you hit it. And if y'all got any questions, just bring them to me. Just bring them. It's sure like you locked in love. Yo, Mel, what's up, baby? Yeah. Love it. Oh, yeah. Cat, I appreciate it. Y'all already know the love. Y'all know the love. I'm here. Ask Corey Pegues. Make sure y'all go to my YouTube channel, Ask Corey Pegues. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Got a bunch of videos on there from me doing different videos weekly. I'm going to try to do this like at least once a month, every 2 weeks. I'm going to try to get on. As long as I have topical conversations. So, but these people are going to make topics all the time. So I'll probably be on next week or two. And I got to bring my man back because he didn't know how to do this, I guess. So that's what it is. Get that book, Once a Cop. Tomorrow night on Netflix, I'll be on Netflix tomorrow night in a documentary called Crack. All right, it's by award-winning filmmaker Stanley Nelson. We're going to be talking about the whole crack era, everything about the crack era. It's a big show, big award-winning producer. He has a Peabody Award. He has a few Emmys. Big show. Netflix tomorrow. I think it's coming on at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not sure. Don't hold me to that, but you can go to Netflix. It's called Crack, and it has 3 subtitles. I can't even remember. I think it's Crack, Cocaine, something else. But that's tomorrow. And February 12th, I'll be on FX. And the 13th, February 13th, I'll be on Hulu in a documentary called Hip Hop Untold, where they're following 5 guys that are very influential in the hip hop game. It's my man Bimmy, my man Big U from LA, Trick from Detroit, Haitian Jack, and Bimmy's sister Big Deb. Y'all know Deb from Loving the Hip Hop, and she's also Waka Flocka's mother. All right, so make sure y'all tune in. But tomorrow, Netflix is big, and you know my documentary, A Cops and Robbers Story. We hitting the film festival again in February. I'll be posting up about that film festival. Yo, Ken, I want to bring Kenneth Chamberlin in. Ken, I need you to come on in. Send me a request. I'm gonna try to get you in so the people could talk to you. Come on, brother. I'm gonna bring you in. I don't know how to win, Ken. Yeah, Kenneth Chamberlain. It's my man.
What up, bro?
Yo, what's up, bro?
I can't call it. I'm pretty fair for a square.
Yeah, man. Hey, audience, yo. This is my man, Kenneth Chamberlain. Yo, I'm getting some feedback on you. Look. I'm getting some feedback.
Yeah, I mean,
You got hip hop?
nah, I ain't got nothing on.
No, I'm saying you got hip hop?
Oh, yeah, I do. I need
That
to
might,
put those on.
yeah, that might help with the. I'm hearing an echo.
How about now?
Yeah,
That's better?
yeah.
All right.
Yo, man, talk to me, bruh. First of all, I see how you moving. For the audience that don't know, man, tell me a little bit about you, Ken. Tell me about your father, your story about your pops and everything. This is my man, Kenneth Chamberlain, big civil rights activist, big proponent of crushing this whole police against the citizens and holding them accountable. So just tell them a little bit about you, the audience.
Well, you know, I usually start off the same way. Hero to some, troublemaker to others. All depends on what side of the fence you're standing on. But almost a decade ago, almost 10 years now. Actually, this November 2021 will make 10 years since my father was killed by White Plains police officers when he inadvertently triggered his life aid pendant that he wore around his neck. He suffered from a heart condition and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and a few other medical issues. And when he triggered it, the monitoring station attempted to reach him. They weren't successful. So they contacted the police, told them they were responding to a medical emergency, not a crime, a possible medical emergency. They get to his apartment in what's considered a low income area in White Plains, a high crime area. They knock on the door. He comes to the door. He says, "I'm okay. I didn't call you." But that wasn't enough for them. They demanded that he open the door, but he knew his rights. He knew that he didn't have to. Long story short, for over 90 minutes, they would bang on the door, yell and scream at him, curse at him, mock his military service. At one point, he says, "I'm telling you I'm all right." And an officer can be heard saying, "I don't give a fuck, nigga, open the door." And they eventually take the door off his hinges, find an electronic taser at him, beanbag shotgun 4 times, and then live ammunition at him, shooting and killing him, alleging that he posed an imminent threat to life or well-being.
Wow. So, listen, you already know. I know the story. Cole, yo, you gotta plug that documentary. They can see the movie. Can they see the
So
movie right now?
they can't see the movie yet. I was actually hoping that it was going to be pushed by now, but they said they wanted to wait till after this election stuff is over and this COVID stuff, and hopefully, you know, the anticipated date is around October
So
of
you got
this
a
year.
distribution deal now. Y'all got a
Yeah.
distributor.
Yeah,
Oh
so
man, that's good.
Morgan Freeman's team, Revelations Entertainment,
Uh huh.
Morgan Freeman, they came on as executive producers, and they're gonna be handling that now. Morgan Freeman saw the movie and just shook his head, and his exact words was, "Holy cow! Like, how can we get this movie out there for people
Right.
to see it?" I mean, you saw it, brother. You got the
Yeah.
special invite to come see it, so
Yo.
you know,
And I
a
appreciate it.
private
Let me tell
screening.
you, man. Yo, I'm telling you, Ken, watching that movie of your father, like, yo, it was not a dry eye in the freaking place, man, including myself. You gonna
Yeah.
watch audience, I'm telling y'all still you got the name, just say the name of it so they'll know, unless y'all changing the name.
No, we're not changing the name. It's called The Killing of Kenneth Chamberlain. It stars Frankie Faison as my father.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying this just because he's starring in a movie about my dad, but his performance was Oscar worthy.
I'm
Um,
telling you, forget about you plugging it. I seen it. I'm telling y'all right now that this, yo, and you know what's amazing about the movie? The entire movie is in a hallway for 90 minutes, whatever it is, 90 minutes. Yo, it's in a hallway for 90 minutes. I wouldn't even think that we could have enough action in a hallway for 90 minutes. Yo, I was sitting there saying, yo, this is crazy. And the way y'all portrayed the cops, and you know, it was all spot on. Like, I was there. I'm like, wow, this was spot on. You know, yo, it's crazy, yo. I'm hoping that it gets picked up and it just goes because everybody, and you know what? Kenneth Chamberlain Sr. is 15 murders prior, probably more than that. Since he got murdered, it's probably more than 15.
yeah, I think it's a little bit more. I can't even keep track
Yeah,
because
you can't even
they're
keep track.
they're names that I never even heard of that
Right.
people brought to my attention, and I was like, what? Even in this area, like in Rockland County, I had never heard of Tina Davis
I never
until
heard of
maybe a month ago. So and I constantly say, and of course, the New York State Attorney General had the case, and she came back with no true bill, but that's nothing new.
it. Right.
Um,
They
I
do
just
that to
say,
us all the time.
zero confidence in the New York State Attorney General Tish James. I have zero confidence. Um, Sad thing about it is I did vote for her, and I feel
Uh-huh.
like I wasted the vote. You know,
Now, let me ask you a question. She caught the case or she inherited the case?
well, she never had mine. With me, it was Preet Bharara,
Right.
from the feds, and I think Snyderman was the AG at that time.
Snyderman, you got a question. Somebody's asking what happened with Tina Davis.
Tina Davis in Rockland County, there was police responded to a call that there was a woman being aggressive. I think she was breaking windows or something to that effect. And the police responded to the call. Um, Ended up, they said that she was choking an officer, so they had to tase her. And after they tased her, I believe she passed out, and they were, I guess, saying that she was on some type of drugs or heroin or narcotics. So they ended up hitting her with Narcan, and she ended up dying.
Wow.
So the New York State Attorney General has the case, and she just came back the other day, and basically said that the officers were justified in their actions. You know, the same story, bro, over and
It's
over
this,
again.
I'm telling you, it's always the same
You know,
story. It's the same story all the time. Well, it's not the same story, but it's always the same ending.
yeah,
No true bill.
no true
All the
bill.
time. So what's your position on you see these crazy white people in DC, man?
Well, listen, you know, I said,
These magnets is crazy. What you think
they
about
they
this?
they interviewed me about that the other day too, and I simply said, you saw the advantage that white people have over non-white people, because had that been black people storming the Capitol like that, we would have witnessed a full-blown massacre on television. you know because
Full blown.
with us, they definitely treat us differently. um
Yo, Kenny, can you imagine me and you climbing a wall of the Capitol?
No, I can't.
With army fatigues, on and zip ties hanging out.
Yeah, yeah,
This is crazy.
yeah. They had gas masks and all types of stuff. And I'm sitting there and I'm saying, okay, you had one young black woman was shot and killed one time over in that area near the Capitol, and that was just one person,
No. So
right?
let's be clear on that.
Right?
That's a very good friend of mine, Valerie Carey's sister, Miriam Carey. All she
Okay.
did was make a U-turn. She drove real fast and made a U-turn, and they shot the hell out of her in
Okay.
front of her daughter.
Yeah. Okay. So they did
And
that. But
no
you got
gun,
all
nothing.
these people rushing the Capitol, coming in. And then one of the sad things about it, it's not like we didn't know. It's like they said, some people were flashing badges and things like that,
Yeah.
and was right in the mix with all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes as no surprise. I mean,
Nope.
like people will always ask me, they'll say, with everything that happened, you must hate police. I said, no, I don't hate police. I have far too many friends that are law enforcement officers. I said,
Right.
I hate the system that they're permitted to operate under.
That's right.
Okay, because the rule of law doesn't apply. You look at me, I could be in a suit, I could be dressed the way I'm dressed right now. I can speak the Queen's English. I can't change my skin complexion. So,
Exactly.
and because of that, you already view me as a threat. Okay, you can have a white man, same height as me, 6 foot, 220 pounds. He'll get tackled to the ground. I'll get 5 or 6 bullets put in me.
That's right. Facts.
You
That's a
know,
fact. Super fact.
and and
And when
and
does
that's the
it
problem.
so let's how do we begin to fix the broken police system? What do you think?
So people always ask me this question, and one of the things I hate is when people start talking about training, because
Yo, Kenny, I'm the same person. I hate it.
I
I
can't
freaking hate
stand
it.
when they talk about training. I'm like, I'm so tired of hearing training, 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 training,
But you know
training.
what, Kenny? But you know what they don't realize? That's an escape for the cops. As soon as you say training, the cops love it. They go, all right, we're going to put a little training together. That'll calm them down.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying, how about holding them accountable for the training that they already have? Stop saying they need no training. Because when you
Mm-hmm.
say it's training, that means you're saying that you sent these cops out inadequately already.
Correct. And most of
Thank
them, if
you.
you
I
ask,
need my
and
brother. Only my brother can.
we froze up. Okay, we
Yeah, yeah,
back
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yeah, and but yeah, that's my whole thing. Is all of this training, 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 refreshers. Um, Most of them have violated policies that are now laws now. So let's see what's going to happen. For instance, like the chokehold. We know that was
Right.
a policy once upon a
Since
time.
since 1993.
Okay. Now, it's a law. But my thing is I tell people, why did it have to be a law? Now you see all these cities and these towns and these villages now putting together these police reform and reinventing task force, and they're having people sit on there talking about. But like I told people, you really are honest. Give There's some law right now that'll probably supersede that recommendation, where you can't put it into effect anyway. So I
Right.
tell people, when we talk about justice for Kenneth Chamberlain Sr., I say, there'll never be justice. Justice will be bringing my father back. You can't do
Exactly.
that.
Right.
Justice will be charging these officers. Okay, you already came back with no true bill on that.
Right. So you can't do
So
that again.
hopefully there'll be uh, some level of accountability.
Right.
So, you know, so I try now to stop saying justice for Kenneth Chamberlain Sr. and I try to say accountability for Kenneth Chamberlain Sr.
Right. Right. Right.
Because, and we know that how is that going to happen? It's going to happen through legislation. It has to be laws. That's the only way that you're going to be able to hold law enforcement accountable, and that's by laws. And when they break those laws, okay, you have to have prosecutors in place that are not afraid to prosecute. And that's what the problem is. You know, it's like when they talk about a duty to intercede, that's been on the books. It's been on the books. So it's all that's been a law. Prosecutors just don't use it,
Exactly.
you know? And see, if you do your homework, you know it. And see, this is why
Right.
a lot of times when I sit with some law enforcement who try to act like police officers do absolutely no wrong, you know, they get upset with me because, you know, I come right at them. You know,
Right.
I'm not gonna mix words and act like this is not something that our great grandparents, our great grandparents, our great great grandparents have all been fighting this. Why are we still fighting the same battle? Why is it even a fight when we say Black Lives Matter?
Well,
You
I know.
know,
Hey,
these
yeah.
are the
Hey,
things.
yo,
These
bro.
are things that I
I
don't
know what.
understand.
I know. We probably won't hear Blue Lives Matter no more. I tell you that.
Oh,
After this, because
you
they don't
know,
care about no blue lives. But yo, Kenny,
you know.
thanks for jumping in, man. I appreciate you, brother. You know, me and you gonna have to
Come
do
on,
it. You know,
man.
I do this. I got this little show I'm doing like every few weeks. I try to do it, but I gotta get you on for the whole hour, man. We'll talk about it.
No,
All right. I
listen. You know, all you
appreciate you,
gotta do is
brother.
hit me, brother. You got my number. I appreciate you too.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
appreciate it.
we'll
All
talk
right,
soon.
baby.
All right, bro.
All right.
All right.
Peace.
All right. Later.
Hey, all right, y'all. I've been going for a while. It's football Sunday. Got to get to these. Getting ready to go watch this football game. Got to get it going. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, ask Corey Pegues. Send your questions to askcoreypegues.com and follow me on Twitter, C Pegues. Follow me on Instagram, C Pegues9098. Follow me on Facebook, Corey Pegues, obviously, and go to my YouTube channel, Ask Corey Pegues. Hit the subscribe button, see a bunch of videos. All right. Dino, what up, bro? Love you, boy. Happy New Year's, bro. Gotta get you on too, man. I gotta get you on. I got like all my people coming in. Gotta get all of y'all on, man. I gotta figure this out, how to get y'all on different segments. All right. Peace. I'll see y'all in the next few weeks.